Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, thank you. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Renegade Immortal based on novel. Lee Muwen raised her head as she looked at Wang Lin. Her face slowly turned red as she said, You can come in. She moved to get out of the doorway. Wang Lin didn't say anything as he walked forward. When he walked past Lee Muwen, a fragrance that could cause one's heart to flutter entered his nose. Wang Lin stopped and looked at Lee Muwen. They were very close to each other. Wang Lin could clearly see her face becoming more and more red, even her neck was starting to turn red. Wang Lin's eyes were no longer cold as he wrapped his arm around Lee Muwen's waist. Lee Muwen's body softened up again as she fell onto Wang Lin's chest. Wang Lin could clearly feel Lee Muwen's fast heartbeat. After a long time, Lee Muwen bit her lower lip and pushed Wang Lin away. She looked at Wang Lin and asked, Why do you look different from before? Wang Lin let go of Lee Muwen. He scanned the room, then sat down on a chair. Lee Muwen poured tea for him, then stood there, waiting for his answer. Wang Lin slightly smiled and said, Ma Liang was a possessed body. This is my real body. Lee Muwen blinked and quickly asked, Your real name is Wang Lin. Also, why is your current cultivation level so different from the you that I saw a while ago? Wang Lin nodded. After pondering for a while, he responded. When there is time, I'll tell you. Now, I want to ask, is there a pill that will allow Foundation Establishment Cultivator to reach the nascent soul stage in 2 months? Lee Muwen's beautiful face revealed a contemplative expression. She whispered, Only in some ancient books are there records of pills that allowed one to reach the nascent soul stage in a short period of time, but those pills' recipes are either lost, or the materials are extinct, and finding alternative materials is extremely difficult. Wang Lin's expression was calm, but his heart sank. If there were no pills like that, then how will he reach the nascent soul stage in 2 months? This was a very serious problem. Lee Muwen frowned as she carefully searched her memories while sitting next to Wang Lin. Wang Lin didn't bother her. 200 years of time didn't leave any marks on her at all. This made Wang Lin feel a bit strange. She not only didn't age, but became even more charming than before. There was also a graceful temperament with a hint of arrogance. Wang Lin pondered a little, then said, This avatar hasn't taken many pills. Besides Pei Yuan pills, only Foundation Establishment pills. Foundation Establishment pills. Lee Muwen's eyes were filled with surprise as she continued. If it is just Pei Yuan pills, then it is fine. After all, they are the most basic pills that alchemists learn to make. But the Foundation Establishment pill can be considered a spirit pill. Brother Wang, did you make the pill on your own? With that, she let out a faint smile and delicately said, HMPH, I remember now. Your teacher, Ju Lin, is still in closed-door training. I'm your ancestral teacher right now. Wang Lin's face let out a rare faint shade of red, but it soon disappeared. He coughed and said, The Foundation Establishment pills were made by me, but they were infused with that spirit liquid I gifted you before. Lee Muwen's eyes revealed a serious look. She stood up and asked, Do you have more of that spirit liquid? Wang Lin's expression was calm as he nodded. Lee Muwen's chest rose up and went back down as she took deep breaths. Brother Wang, how much of that spirit liquid do you have left? Is there a lot? She asked. Wang Lin's right hand slapped his bag of holding as he placed a white bottle on the table. Lee Muwen's eyes revealed a disappointed look and muttered, So there is only 1 bottle left. There probably wasn't much of something as rare as this to begin with. Before she could finish, another bottle appeared in Wang Lin's hand. One bottle after another appeared in Wang Lin's hand and were placed on the table until there were 8 bottles. Lee Muwen was dumbfounded. After a long time, she regained her senses. She looked at the 8 bottles, then at Wang Lin, before asking, Brother Wang, are all of these bottles filled with pure spirit liquid, or did you dilute it? Wang Lin faintly smiled and said, I didn't dilute it. It's the same spirit liquid I gave you before. Is this enough? If not, I can give you more. Lee Muwen's face suddenly turned red. She stared at Wang Lin and asked, There's more? Wang Lin nodded and said, smiling, However much you want, I have. Lee Muwen's chest rapidly went up and down. She opened one of the bottles and carefully looked at what was inside. She then looked at Wang Lin with a look of disbelief. After a long time, she finally managed to say one sentence, Brother Wang, Do you know what effects this spirit liquid has? Wang Lin didn't hide anything and slowly said, I have always used the spirit liquid instead of pills to raise my cultivation. Lately, I noticed that this spirit liquid can also help increase the success rate of alchemy. Wang Lin secretly nodded. Her analysis was very close to his own speculation. Li Muwen looked at the yellow paper with dreamy eyes and slowly said, but, compared to this pill furnace, this piece of yellow paper is even more precious. Look at the seal on this yellow paper. Wan has only seen hints of this in some old books. This paper is called a pill seal. Its function is to absorb the spiritual energy of the world. While sealing the pill, it also helps nourish the pill at the same time. This technique was even rare in ancient times. The production process of pill seals have long been forgotten. What is more rare is how complete this pill seal is and that it's still functioning. It has to be said that if even a normal pill was placed under a pill seal, after a few days, its effect will increase by 1-fold. If left longer, its effect will increase even more. Rumor has it that all of those heaven-defying pills in stories were created after being left in a pill seal for hundreds of years. It can be said that the pill seal played a key role in making those pills. Wang Lin was very surprised. He looked at the yellow paper. He didn't expect the paper to be more precious than the pill furnace. Exactly what kind of pill would be inside of a pill furnace this rare, and sealed by a pill seal this precious? Following this logic, wouldn't the pill be even more precious than the pill furnace and pill seal combined? Li Muwen took a deep breath. She looked at the pill furnace and continued with her beautiful voice, Brother Wang, you might have already guessed that the real treasure isn't the pill seal, or the pill furnace, but the pill inside. It is rumored that only heaven-defying pills would be placed inside of this type of pill furnace and use this type of seal. Wan is now very curious as to what kind of pill is sealed inside here. Li Muwen's beautiful eyes lit up. She picked up the piece of jade and scanned it. After a while, she frowned slightly and whispered, Chihuang sect, this should be from the Chihuang sect. The recipes inside of this jade are clearly from the Chihuang sect. Brother Wang, did you get this at the inner part of the Sea of Devils? Wang Lin nodded. Li Muwen lightly bit her lower lip and said, then it has to be the Chihuang sect. The Chihuang sect was originally a sect from a rank 4 country, but after conflicts with an enemy sect, they moved into the Sea of Devils and have disappeared without a trace. It seems this pill furnace belonged to the Chihuang sect, meaning that the method of opening the seal is lost. Wan only knows that this seal can't be carelessly opened. It requires a series of procedures and the right timing to open. If it is opened by force, it will damage the pill that is inside. Also, Wan feels that the pill isn't ready yet. Even if we open it correctly, it won't have reached the potential it could have if we were to keep it sealed for a while longer. Wang Lin secretly nodded. This was the only explanation of why Yunfei didn't open it herself, but tried to exchange it for the removal of her restriction. Li Muwen said, with a determined look, Brother Wang, Wan, I will go to the Cloud Sky Sect's library to see if there is any information on opening the seal. If the pill is for increasing cultivation, then it will increase the chances of you reaching the nascent soul stage. Li Muwen took out several bottles of pills and handed them to Wang Lin. After she explained what all of the pills did, Wang Lin left. Wang Lin left the southern courtyard under Li Muwen's reluctant gaze. After all, Wang Lin's cultivation was too low. If he stayed with Li Muwen for too long, it would attract people's attention. Therefore, Wang Lin left the southern courtyard and decided to go into closed-door training back in his room. He and Li Muwen had already made arrangements and left each other a transmission jade. Once she opens the seal, she will send the pill to him. At the same time, for Li Muwen's safety, Wang Lin left the devil Shuligua and the second devil to protect her. With those two working together, they should even be able to hold off a nascent soul cultivator for a bit. That amount of time would be enough for Wang Lin's main body to appear. Also, only the devils that had a link to Wang Lin could still connect with him while he was inside the heaven-defying beads space. Just as Wang Lin walked out of the southern courtyard, a gentle voice came out of the white fog behind him. Your name is Wang Lin. Wang Lin's steps stopped. He turned around and saw the white fog roll as a middle-aged man walked out. He was very handsome and very refined. He had the aura of a fairy. This person was Outer Sect Elder Sun's son, Sun Zhenwei. Wang Lin calmly said, I am. Zhenwei revealed a friendly smile and chuckled. Did you just go to see your teacher's ancestor? Wang Lin sneered in his heart, but he calmly nodded. Wang Lin walked all the way back to the courtyard he resided in. After entering his room, he formed a restriction and placed it on the flying sword. The flying sword shone a cold light. Sun Jinwei giving him the flying sword was well within Wang Lin's predictions. At most, the flying sword was just a means to spy on him. Wang Lin sneered. His restriction not only stopped the monitoring effect of the flying sword, but did so in a way that Sun Jinwei wouldn't notice. After throwing the flying sword to the side, he took a deep breath and put his hand on his brow to enter the heaven-defying bead. Wang Lin knew that he was short on time. With the heaven-defying bead, he had about 2 years of time. There wasn't much time remaining. Wang Lin sat crossed-legged inside the heaven-defying bead, and before him were more than 10 bottles of pills. Some of the bottles were sealed with wax. These pills were the best of the pills Li Muwen had made in the past 200 years. All of these pills were very suitable for him, and would increase his chance of reaching the core formation stage. Wang Lin followed Li Muwen's directions, and placed the bottles in order of what he needed to take from right to left. He picked up a bottle and opened the wax seal. A strong aroma of medicine floated out of the bottle. Inside it were 10 lychee nut-sized pills. This pill was called the Chiswa pill. It was a rank 2 spirit pill. By using a lot of rare ingredients, not only did it provide a large amount of spiritual energy, it also helped widen the channels in one's body. This Chiswa pill was one of the 18 rare pills in the old Luo He sect. In the cultivation world, it was a very rare pill, and a grade above the foundation establishment pill. The thing that made this pill so rare was its effect to widen the channels. Even within the Cloud Sky sect, there weren't many pills that widened the channels, and all of those pills were rank 4. For a rank 2 pill to increase the channels was extremely rare. Inside the Cloud Sky sect, there were only 20 or so of these Chiswa pills, and all of them were made by Li Muwen. Wang Lin picked up a pill and put it into his mouth. Then, he immediately began to cultivate. Spiritual energy flooded into his body, and he immediately noticed the difference between it and the foundation establishment pill. The Chiswa pill had more than double the spiritual energy of the foundation establishment pill. The boundless spiritual energy slowly calmed down, as it was swallowed by the ancient god's tactic. After a while, Wang Lin swallowed another pill. Time slowly passed by and Wang Lin's cultivation had reached the late stage of foundation establishment, after taking all of the Chiswa pills. This method of pill consumption that disregarded any negative consequences in the future was something only Wang Lin was willing to do. After using up all of the Chiswa pills, Wang Lin picked up the second bottle. He wasn't sure how hard reaching the core formation stage will be for his avatar. It has to be said that back then, by using the underworld ascension method, he formed 3 subcores, then fused them together to make a core embryo. Then, only after taking a series of pills from Li Muwen did he finally reach the core formation stage. Li Muwen didn't say the name of this pill, but said that Wang Lin will know when he sees it. He broke the wax seal, then looked inside the bottle and let out a faint smile. Inside the bottle were 5 purple pills. Wang Lin immediately recognized these as the Qian Li pills he took before. It seems Li Muwen has spent a lot of blood and sweat in these past 200 years to refine these Qian Li pills again. In fact, this was true. The Qian Li pill was a rank 3 pill, and the materials went extinct with the country of Hufen. It was only after coming to the Cloud Sky sect, and by using her status of elder, that Li Muwen managed to get the materials to make more. However, even the Cloud Sky sect didn't have much of those materials. After refining 5 of these pills, all of the materials for it were used up. In fact, a vast majority of materials for the pills Wang Lin was taking were materials Li Muwen got from the Cloud Sky sect. It could be said that the cost for Wang Lin's cultivation this time was paid for entirely by the Cloud Sky sect. Time slowly passed and the first Qian Li pill failed. Although it failed, it did move all of Wang Lin's spiritual energy to his Dantian. The second Qian Li pill also failed, but the spiritual energy in Wang Lin's body became even more concentrated. If one looked in from the outside, Wang Lin's Dantian was like the sea and all of the meridians in his body were like rivers. The spiritual energy flowed from the meridians into his Dantian, forming a whirlpool in the middle. Every time this whirlpool spun once, all of the spiritual energy in his body would surge. The process looked very strange. The third Qian Li pill also failed, but the whirlpool in Wang Lin's Dantian spun even faster. Soon, a drop of golden liquid gathered in the center of the whirlpool. Wang Lin didn't immediately take the fourth pill, but sat there and cultivated. After a long time, the whirlpool started to slow down, and there were now 3 drops of golden liquid in his dantian. These 3 drops of golden liquid were formed by all of the spiritual energy in his body. The moment the 3rd drop appeared, all of the spiritual energy had disappeared everywhere else in Wang Lin's body, and even the whirlpool in his dantian was slowly fading. Wang Lin used the ancient god tactic. However, instead of the spiritual energy being absorbed by his body, he forced the spiritual energy to cycle through his body. There was no such thing as foundation establishment, core formation, or nascent soul to the ancient gods. After all, none of them would give up their outer power method, so, besides Wang Lin, no one else had ever used the ancient god tactic for inner power. So when all of the spiritual energy in his body condensed into 3 drops of golden liquid, Wang Lin was very confused, but he couldn't find any memories that would explain it. He could clearly feel that within each drop of this golden liquid, there was enough spiritual energy to match a core formation cultivator. He felt that this was very similar to when he was at the Juming Valley in the country of Zhao and used his Ji realm to form the cold essence bead. However, in the end, Wang Lin's body was destroyed and his Ji realm fused with his soul. He could never use that cold essence bead technique again. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he looked at the 3 drops of golden liquid. He picked up the 3rd bottle. This bottle didn't have a wax seal, and there were more than 30 black pills inside. At the same time, under the effect of the 2 Qian Li pills, Wang Lin's dantian cracked. The cracks couldn't be stopped and soon, Wang Lin's entire dantian shattered. These shattered pieces of his dantian merged into the golden liquid along with the spiritual energy from the Qian Li pills. Soon, everything merged together to form a golden core that was the size of a fist in Wang Lin's lower abdomen. There were numerous lines connecting the golden core to the meridians. A huge surge of spiritual energy appeared as the golden core spun once. At the same time, Wang Lin opened his eyes. His eyes shined brightly as he crossed the threshold between foundation establishment and core formation. During all of this, Li Muwen was at the library for more than a month. In this month, she had almost never left, as she searched through the library for a way to open the seal. In fact, she had already found 3 methods to open the pill seal, but each of these methods had a chance of lowering the effect of the pill, or making the pill useless. Li Muwen was unable to accept these risks. She had a feeling that this pill was the key for Wang Lin to break into the nascent soul stage. Sun Junwei had been keeping an eye on Li Muwen's actions. He had already felt that there was something strange going on with her being inside the library for so long. But no matter how much he guessed and analyzed, he couldn't figure out what. And as for that disciple named Wang Lin, he had been in closed-door training for a month and hadn't gone to see Li Muwen at all. The flying sword Sun Junwei gave Wang Lin still hadn't had any response. Although all of this was normal, Sun Junwei still felt like something was off. But there was only about a month left before the cultivation pair ceremony. Whenever someone from the sect came to congratulate him, he was obligated to greet them, so he no longer bothered with his matter. If she was not like this, it would have been very difficult for her to survive as a woman in this cruel world of cultivation. This caution came actually more or less from Wang Lin. It could be said that Li Muwen gained some of Wang Lin's caution during their time in the Sea of Devils. This caution had saved her many times after they split up. She knew that in the Cloud Sky sect, there were people, especially Sun Junwei, who wanted to know what she had been searching for so long here. As a result, Li Muwen's caution played a very big role. Even if someone came to spy on her, it would be very difficult for them to find what she was really looking for. Even if they traced the recording technique she used, they still wouldn't be able to find much. During her stay here, Li Muwen recorded many things, and things regarding the pill seal only made up a small portion of that. Soon after she left, Sun Junwei walked in. After he walked in, he took out a purple token, and on the token, the word cloud was clearly written. The moment this token appeared, the space 3 meters before him suddenly distorted as 2 men in grey robes walk out. The 2 looked at the token and kneeled on the ground. Outer sect disciple greets the cloud order, they said. This scripture library has always been guarded by the outer sect. What have you 2 found out in the month that you have been spying on Li Muwen? Sun Junwei's face was no longer gentle, but revealed a trace of darkness. One of the men in grey whispered, Elder Li's search was all over the place, from pill recipes to medication effects. From disciples' observation, there wasn't anything that stood out. Sun Junwei frowned. He didn't believe that Li Muwen would waste a month of time to look at random things. He pondered for a bit, then asked, "Did she record anything?" The other man in grey calmly said, "She did, but they were equally as random." It was as if Elder Lee didn't have any real goal. "However, there is another possibility." Sun Junwei's eyes lit up and he said, "Speak." The men in grey calmly said, "Elder Lee is very clever and cautious. She already knew that there would be people spying on her, so she purposely hid her search among other things. If that is really the truth, then she has succeeded." Sun Junwei snorted. He had already guessed something was up, but he remembered that there were only 20 days left. He really wanted to see what Li Muwen could do about it. Sun Junwei was also no longer afraid of Li Muwen's friend. During the cultivation pair ceremony, there would be many nascent soul ancestors present. If that person tries anything, the ancestors will take care of it for him. After continuously taking pills for days, the body barrier appeared in Wang Lin's body, but he couldn't stop taking pills now, and Li Muwen had also taken this matter into consideration. In fact, with an alchemy master like Li Muwen, Wang Lin didn't even have to think about the pills at all, because she had already prepared everything perfectly. Wang Lin picked up the bottle from the ground. What was in this bottle was the key to get past the body barrier. The pills in this bottle were called body barrier breaking pills. Although they were called that, they didn't really remove the body barrier. They were just pills that Li Muwen made with some very rare materials that would help one's body better absorb the effect of pills. If you only look at the rank, this pill was only a rank 1 pill, but if used properly, it could have some amazing effects. After taking this pill, Wang Lin quickly took several bottles and swallowed all of the pills inside. Although the speed at which the spiritual energy was dissipating hadn't slowed down, the rate that Wang Lin's body absorbed them had increased greatly. For a normal person, although it increased the rate, they would only be able to feel that they were absorbing spiritual energy a bit faster. But with Wang Lin's ancient god's tactic, that slight increase gave it enough time to absorb a large amount of spiritual energy that would have normally dissipated. With this method, Wang Lin's cultivation shot up from mid-stage core formation to late stage. Although he hadn't reached the peak of late stage, he was very close to the nascent soul stage. But all of the pills Li Muwen had given him were used up. On this day, Wang Lin awake from his cultivation inside the heaven-defying bead. He could feel a call from the devil Shuligo. From his earlier agreement with Li Muwen, he knew that this meant that she had found way to open the seal. After he saw Wang Lin, his eyes immediately focused on him. He immediately detected the difference in Wang Lin. It has to be said that before he went into closed-door training, Wang Lin was only at the 3rd layer of qi condensation. He couldn't even see through Wang Lin's cultivation now. Even if the current Wang Lin's cultivation wasn't at the late stage of core formation, he thought that Wang Lin was at least at the mid-stage. He let out a bitter smile and said, "Teacher is currently being watched. She asked me to take you somewhere to meet you." Wang Lin calmly looked at the person and nodded. Julin walked into the garden and closed the gate. He looked at Wang Lin with a complex expression and said, Should I be calling you uncle? Still, forget it. Since you are my teacher's friend, you are my uncle. Uncle, this way please." Julin shook his head. He was actually still in closed-door training, but he received a message from Li Muwen to come out early. Julin was an orphan who was saved by Li Muwen and had been following her ever since. He was filled with respect and gratitude toward Li Muwen. From Li Muwen's words, he realized that the disciple he took in was her friend. It took him a very long time to sort this all out in his head. This was why, after he saw Wang Lin's cultivation level, he was only startled and not surprised. He just assumed that Wang Lin's cultivation had always been like this and that he had been hiding it before. Julin arrived in front of his room. He waved his hand and the door glowed. After that, he opened it. Julin turned around to look at Wang Lin, then walked into the room. Wang Lin didn't move, but spread his divine sense and secretly placed a restriction that he could activate at any time on Julin's body. Only after that did he walk into the room. Wang Lin was cautious toward everyone. Although Julin was good to him before and was also Li Muwen's disciple, when it was time to be cautious, he would never be sloppy. Under the scan of his divine sense, he only found a fluctuation of spiritual power from the pill furnace, and everything else seemed normal. The moment Julin entered the room, he touched his bag of holding and took out 3 pieces of jade. He placed them under the pill furnace. He took a few steps back, as he formed a few seals and shot them toward the pill furnace. The pill furnace glowed and sank 3 inches into the ground. Julin took a deep breath and grabbed the furnace. After turning the furnace a few times, a ray of light appeared on the wall before him. This ray of light moved like a dragon waving its tail. It moved quickly and soon formed a formation. Julin took a few steps back and respectfully said, "This formation is connected to a secret chamber that teacher has secretly prepared and no outsider knows of. Uncle, please enter. Disciple will stand guard here and report to uncle if anything happens." Wang Lin didn't move, but stared at the formation on the wall. After a while, he looked at Julin and said, "Your teacher is inside the secret chamber." Before him was a chamber. Although the chamber wasn't large, the most eye-catching thing in the chamber was the pill furnace. On top of the pill furnace were 7 black dragons. Right now, the 7 dragons were spewing out purple smoke that was slowly rising up and condensing into a purple ball. Within the purple ball was a small pill furnace with a piece of yellow paper on it. Li Muwen's eyes were glued to the pill furnace, her expression tense. When she saw Wang Lin, she softly said, "Above us is the square outside the Cloud Sky sect's main hall. To open this pill seal, we will need to borrow the power of the 7 heaven-stealing pill furnaces." The origin of the Cloud Sky sect's 7 heaven-stealing pilling furnace was very mysterious. Rumor has it that the founder of the sect created 9 of them. They were sealed under the Cloud Sky sect's mountain, waiting for disciples that could summon them. But no matter how strong the founder was, he was still not even at the spirit-severing stage due to the rank of the country, so even if there was some power within the pill furnaces, no one really bothered to steal them. But the power of the heaven-stealing pill furnace was great, so using the words, heaven-stealing, wasn't exactly wrong. In the ancient records of the Cloud Sky sect, these 9 heaven-stealing pill furnace were all fakes. The founder of the Cloud Sky sect once saw the original furnace and memorized the design, then forged the pill furnace from his memories. The reason why it was 9 pill furnaces was because the founder's cultivation level wasn't high enough to make one pill furnace containing all of the things he had memorized. So he had to make 9 pill furnaces to contain them all. As a result, the 9 heaven-stealing pill furnaces were created. There was another mysterious aspect of the heaven-stealing pill furnaces. They couldn't leave the Cloud Sky sect's mountain range. The moment they leave the mountain range, they will turn into scrap metal. This phenomenon has caused some higher-rank cultivation countries to come investigate, but they found nothing. However, because of this, they gave up on the idea of stealing them and supported the Cloud Sky sect instead. Therefore, the Cloud Sky sect was able to develop quickly and became the #1 sect in the country of Chu. Li Muwen had a serious expression on her face as she stared at the gas spat out by the 7 dragons on the pill furnace. She whispered, "To open the pill seal, we need spiritual energy and the right time of day. We must borrow spiritual power from the 7 heaven-stealing pill furnaces when they are in use." Wang Lin's expression was calm. He stood next to Li Muwen and watched the pill furnace. He whispered, "Does the Cloud Sky sect always make a pill once a month?" Li Muwen gently nodded. She said, with a gentle voice, "Yes. The heaven-stealing pill furnaces can only be used at a certain time of day once a month to get the maximum effect. Only elders of the Cloud Sky sect have the privilege to use them. Some rare pills require the heaven-stealing pill furnaces to make." Wang Lin slightly nodded. He pointed at the pill furnace with 7 dragon heads before them and asked, "Is this also a heaven-stealing pill furnace?" At that moment, on the ground above this chamber, the elders of the Cloud Sky sect were staring at the sky, calculating the time of day. These elders were all master alchemists of the Cloud Sky sect, and one of them was one of the 3 rank 5 alchemists, Ouyang Zi. Ouyang Zi was originally the disciple of the inner sect head, but he willingly gave up the chance of becoming sect head to focus all of his attention on alchemy. This person's passion for alchemy had reached an unimaginable degree. He didn't care about cultivation or power. It could be said that he didn't care about anything other than alchemy. Ouyang Zi's goal in life was to refine the legendary rank 9 divine pill. But his goal was just too far out of reach. Even rank 6 countries could only make rank 6 pills. Even the few geniuses that would sometimes come along could only make rank 7 pills. Precisely because of how difficult alchemy was, the Cloud Sky sect was protected by a giant demon sect from a rank 4 country. It has to be said that rank 5 pills are the limit of what a rank 4 country can make. All of this showed the importance of the Cloud Sky sect to the giant demon sect. Ouyang Zi was a rank 5 alchemist, and had reached the early stage of nascent soul. If he wasn't so focused on alchemy, he would have already reached late stage and would have become one of the sect's ancestors. Although he was only at early stage of nascent soul, his status was much higher than Li Muwen, who was an outsider. Today, he was going to refine a rank 5 pill. He had prepared for several years for this. Besides himself, he asked 6 other people to come help him with sacrifice refining. Sacrifice refining was a pill refining technique Ouyang Zi invented himself. In his mind, pill refining was an act that defied the heavens, so there needed to be sacrifices. It was similar to the ancient gods' heaven sacrifice ceremony, only the sacrifices he was making were pills. Ouyang Zi had a head full of white hair and looked very old, but his eyes shined a demonic light. He let out a very mysterious aura that made none of the other 6 alchemists dare to look at him directly. It has to be said that this demonic light had the ability to affect one's soul, but if used in alchemy, it allowed one to see inside of the pill furnace. 3 people walked out of the main hall. One of them was the sect head of the inner sect. He let out a bitter smile and said, "Didn't I tell you guys already? When Elder Martial Brother refines a pill, he doesn't allow anyone to watch." With that, he clasped his hands at Ouyang Zi and said, "Elder Martial Brother, these 2 are guests from the cultivation country of Tianwu. They want to see Elder Brother refine a pill. What do you say?" The 2 people behind him were both thin and tall, but both of them emitted a very powerful aura. Clearly, their cultivation levels were very high. Ouyang Zi frowned. He coldly said, "Scram." The sect head's expression remained normal, but the 2 guests' faces changed. They displayed a mocking expression, but they didn't do anything and left. The Cloud Sky sect's head, Yuan Tian, already told them about this before, but they insisted on coming. After letting out a sigh, he accompanied the 2 and began chatting with them. In his view, these 2 were here to buy pills and their offer was very attractive, so he still needed to accommodate them a little. After the 3 left, Ouyang Zi continued to calculate the time. After about 10 breaths, his eyes lit up. His hand formed seals as he jumped into the air and shot out 7 rays of light onto the 7 pill furnaces. Currently, his large robe fluttered in the wind, making him look very majestic. The 6 alchemists watched him with looks of admiration. The 7 heaven-stealing pill furnaces began to move after the light landed on them. They moved in a circle, as if there was a giant hand moving them from above. 6 of the pill furnaces formed a circle with the 7th at the center. At the same time, in the underground chamber, Li Muwen's dragon pill furnace also reacted. Li Muwen took a deep breath. She bit her finger and immediately formed several seals with her hand. She shot the seals at the 7 dragons on the pill furnace. The 7 dragons moved as if they were alive and floated around the chamber. They all coiled up. Soon, the 7 dragons turned into illusionary pill furnaces. 6 of them formed a circle, while the 7th one fused into Li Muwen's dragon furnace. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Without a word, he waved his hand and shot an illusionary circle onto the ground. Then, his hand formed a seal as he shouted, "Main body, appear." Wang Lin's main body, with white hair and a purple star on the forehead, appeared without a sound through the illusionary circle. The moment he appeared, the chamber became cold. Even the illusionary pill furnaces in the air became a bit blurry. Li Muwen stared at Wang Lin's main body with a look of longing. Soon, her eyes lit up. This was the person she had been waiting for more than 200 years. The avatar was just way too inferior compared to the main body. The moment he finished speaking, one of the 6 people took a few steps forward and slapped his bag of holding. A white jade bottle appeared from the bag of holding. He walked up to one of the pill furnaces and broke the seal on the bottle. He carefully poured out a blood-red pill. The moment the pill appeared, the area was filled with the smell of blood. Currently, the person's face was a bit pale. His right hand was trembling as he held the pill, but he clenched his teeth and put the pill into one of the 6 pill furnaces. The moment the pill entered the pill furnace, the furnace let out a loud roar. Immediately after, a blood-red light shot up into the air, forming a pillar of light that reached the sky. The same scene happened in the chamber, as one of the illusionary pill furnaces formed by one of the dragons shot out a pillar of red light. Aside from the size, the pillar of red light was identical to the one outside. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Looking at the scene before him, he asked, "What kind of pill refining technique is this?" Li Muwen's eyes were filled with respect as she whispered, "This is Ouyang Zi's own refining method called sacrifice refining. Basically, he is using various rank 4 pills to make a rank 5 pill. Although the success rate isn't high, it is still much higher than normal methods." Currently, at the ground above, Ouyang Zi's eyes lit up and he shouted, second sacrifice, rank 4 Luo Lin pill. Another person arrived next to a pill furnace. He took out a blue pill and carefully placed it inside the furnace. Suddenly, a pillar of blue light appeared from that pill furnace. Then, Ouyang Zi went out all and put in 4 more rank 4 pills. Now, 6 pillars of light shot out into the sky. These pillars of light could be seen even outside of the cloud sky sect mountain range. Ouyang Zi was very nervous. He stared at the pill furnace in the middle and muttered, "This must succeed. This must succeed. If I succeed this time, I will have 3 rank 5 pills. Combined with the 3 rank 5 pills the sect has, I will have 6. With 6 of them, I could use the rank 5 pills as sacrifices, and have a taste of what it's like to refine a rank 6 pill." His eyes shined a never-before-seen light as he stared at the pill furnaces. After taking a deep breath, he shouted, "You 6, the refining has started." The 6 alchemists revealed looks of excitement. If they succeeded this time, then they would have helped created a rank 5 pill. This was something all alchemists dreamed of. The 6 of them jumped into the air and floated above the 6 pill furnaces. They sat down cross-legged in the pillars of light, and urged the spiritual energy in their bodies to move. Ouyang Zi didn't hesitate at all. His body slowly landed on top of the last pill furnace, and he closed his eyes. At that moment, in the underground chamber, the 6 illusionary pill furnaces also emitted their own pillars of light. Inside the center of these pillars of light was the pill furnace with the pill seal on it. Below the pill seal was the pill furnace Li Muwen made, with Wang Lin's main body inside of it. As a result, the best time to refine pills and seal pills was 45 minutes past midnight. It has to be said that when it comes to refining pills or sealing pills, the best time to do so is when the yang and yin separate. Of course, this only applies when refining a very precious pill. As for normal pills, people wouldn't bother with it. But this guess wasn't very accurate. In reality, there were some alchemists who were afraid of other people stealing their pills. They would purposely alter the time when sealing the pill. As a result, even if someone steals the pill, they wouldn't be able to properly open it without knowing the correct time. Li Muwen's solution to this was to use a method that would use a massive amount of spiritual energy to overload the pill. This sacrificed a bit of the pill's effectiveness to open up the pill seal. In a way, as long as the time wasn't too different from when it was sealed, the pill seal would be removed and the pill would also suffer a lot less damage compared to normal methods. But if the time difference was too large, it would make the pill useless. Li Muwen's expression was serious as she whispered to Wang Lin, "Because of the existence of this pill furnace, the chance of Ouyang Zi succeeding is not high. Knowing his personality, he will use a blood sacrifice technique. At that moment, there will be a burst of spiritual energy. That is the time to open the pill seal." Time slowly passed. Currently, at the ground above, Ouyang Zi opened his eyes. He noticed that the spiritual energy in the area was rapidly decreasing. There wasn't enough spiritual energy to make a rank 5 pill. This was the first time he had encountered something like this. Right now was the critical moment in the refining process, so he didn't have any time to think about it. A cold light flashed across his eyes as he shouted, "Blood sacrifice." At the same time, an unimaginable amount of pressure from the spiritual power inside the pill furnace appeared, causing the pill furnace to explode. A round, cyan-colored pill appeared. But at that moment, a crisp crackling sound filled the air as cracks appeared on the pill, a rank 7 spirit pill. Li Muwen's eyes widened. Although she was prepared, she still couldn't help but burst out in surprise. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.